some of all these members to at least soak some damage. So they've got that crossed out on those checkbox.
Yes.
And now bringing back that Chang'e pick that they did pull out in those grand finals back in EVOSSG. So this is one of that sort of a pocket pick strat that they do have coming in towards M1. Well,
I mean, it was like a pocket pick strat, and then it just became meta. Now everybody is just like, all right, I'll just have Chang'e in the back of my mind, but let's go into game 2. This is between Rex, Regum, Peon against EVOSSG game 2.
That's right, and if you haven't got yourself the tickets to MLBB M1 World Championship, it's happening on the weekends here in Asia Arena, so make sure you guys grab it real quick with the promo codes being provided. Now, we're starting off with a 2 versus 2 over a mid lane. Of course, topside, we're going to see a little bit of that tussle between Tuturu, Ace, as well as Potato. They're already on the prowl, already dealing quite a chunk of damage, but this shouldn't be too much of a problem for them to actually face off with. So, of course, we're seeing a little bit of Revitalize for Liam here. So, what do you feel about Revitalize on Baxia?
Great spell, absolutely great spell, but it also allows Baxia to kind of hold on his own when he goes for an engage and the team isn't able to follow up like exactly on time here. But I think overall, it's pretty smart what both teams did right now. Especially Revitalize on the Baxia, great. But on the side of Evos Esports SG, I think what they did is really smart here, where they kind of switched up the lanes, where they said, okay, we're going to put you on the dual lane in the top side, because we know for a fact that Barang can't do a great job, and it's already paying off. I mean, Revitalize, great switch on the other side of the map, and they immediately punish them on the bottom side. Great rotations from mid.
Oh, yes. We'll definitely see a great start for the side of Evo Singapore. And now Soul close to actually falling out. Flicker's being popped out instead. And now Bambi as well as JPL tries to return the favor. And this will be 2 kills in the bag. And this is just in the span of less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, just... Oh, that was close. That was really, really close here, especially from RRQ. He got a little hungry for blood. You can definitely see it in his eyes. He wasn't able to get a range for that last auto attack, but overall, I think Evos Esports are very happy with the catch that they got. 2-0 right now. They have to keep playing the game slow, especially if you're in RRQ's position, because you do scale pretty decently when you have carry on your side.
That's right, and then we see a little bit of that hastiness coming in from the side of RRQ. I felt like if they were just to play things a little bit safer, and they're already forcing somebody to back away, they're already losing that experience. You don't really have to fully commit in that sort of sense. But now, for Turtle being challenged, and here comes the box, face crack being pulled out as well, but Soul already getting in from entering, and that first Soul goes in the hands of Evos Singapore, and Righteous Pathway has been opened up as well, but now that's pretty much a clean disengage from EVOSSG.
Doesn't really matter here. Sin's gonna back away. Soul Big Ong Fist pushes him away, but he knows he doesn't have enough damage to one-shot Sin just yet. And more importantly, he can just Phantom Step over the fist break.
That's right. And look at him. Even that sort of distance, he's getting chunked out by Chang'e's ult and Liam here, possibly trying to actually get a couple of all that sort of informations now. A couple of minutes have passed, but the next objective will still be on the top side of the river, as Ace as well as Potato has been doing such an absolute great work against the Turus thus far.
Yep. Oh, nicely done. Great maximum impact. Stealing away the buff. Oh, great catch. Mid pushes him through. Oh dear, Bambi's in trouble. Quickly having to bump the sprint. Meteor Shower is being put down, but JPL disengages any more follow-up with the Hurricane Dance. Oh, Zin's in trouble. Wow. Flicker already coming through. Soul, he tried to go for an initial all-in. Doesn't get that last hit. And Ace has to put the Glorious Pathway down to bail out of there. Gets a good amount of regeneration, giving away the crab, but no kills going over to RRQ. I'm just loving the entire chess piece coming from both sides, and we see great amount of respect being shown to their opposing sides as well. So get a little bit more than he should, and he's just taking a little bit more from the jungle instead. Now, of course, Evos Esports get a little bit of that sort of a gold lead that they have here. It's about 400 gold for the time being, but it's definitely going to change in the span of a few minutes here. And Soul, I think that he's getting a lot of trap being posed upon him, as Liam is already cutting in towards the jungle looking for older Bambi. Yeah, and again, Liam is just being super annoying. He's gaining vision, and he's pretty much unstoppable for the most part, but he's not really engaging on anybody. He's gathering information, telling his team, oh, this is where the movements of the enemy are, this is what they're currently doing, making sure they know exactly where EVOSSG is at all times.
That's right. We're seeing great movements coming across that box here. Of course, now trying to actually disturb some of these members of Evos Esports. Now, we're seeing, of course, Boxia being so mobile to actually rotate across the map to even support this team. And now, turtle number 2 already being spawned. Is Evos going to be ready for this?
Oh! Ooh, locking him down. I mean, the double ultimate was a bit of an overkill, but you know, you want to make sure you secure it. Oh, Potato's in trouble. He gets caught out here, and Liam just ensures his death, cutting off his exits completely, as the rest of Evos Esports are just a second tad bit behind.
That's right, and for members on the top side here, let's have a look into it. It's a quick replay on how they managed to set this one up. And of course, we see Ace here opening up that righteous pathway a little bit way too late to actually join in the party as well. And this turtle, of course, getting pulled back and forth, but no commitments whatsoever until Liam goes in crashing towards the side of JPL, pulls it back with a divine judgment as well. And JPL here still managing to escape with that frog leap as well as Hurricane Dance all intact.
Oh, so nicely done. So nicely done. 1,000 pounder just to get the shield as well. I mean, the rest of the team is just kind of holding on their own, and now Soul's in trouble. He has to recall out of there before they collapse on it. I think he should be able to get away here. No issues whatsoever. Evos Esports controlling the top side, and despite having a two-kill lead, the gold is pretty even.
Yes, we see both sides stalling it out for a little bit more, and members of RRQ here, of course, trying to poke as much as they can, trying to force away EVOSSG. In terms of itemization, we've already seen one Bloodlust Act for the side of Tamas, as we see Jiao PL already locking Sin on the wall, but here comes the follow-on coming in a little bit too late, though. Soul almost getting a catch, but that meteor shower will be able to connect, and oh my, Odia Bambi gets one kill.
They are going to continue forward as they push through. Vin gets an initial catch, but again, not the priority target. Good disengage. They lock him down with the law and order, but the rest of the team's going to pull back.
Oh my goodness me, it's Soul coming in with the Frizz Cracker as well. Almost here now, Jago in the back, and WPL going in with the flicker, but that's a huge blunder that we're seeing here. 3 members are low, but that should not even be made possible. Of course, Evos Esports still looking for a dive, but there's no minutes going in, so this means that they can take the next best option, which will be the turtle.
Yep, great punishment. They're going to wait for the next wave. They have Badong on the sideline, but let's look at the replay here, because it was looking like, oh my goodness, what is going on? And all of a sudden, Oh Dear Bambi comes through, he gets his ultimate again, and just completely cuts off the lane. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to let you walk back to your turret. I'm going to chunk you out completely with just the meteor shower.
Oh my, now we're seeing a little bit more action on the top side as well. Of course, even on the bottom side, we see a little bit of skirmish, and Bambi being left by himself is going to be having JPL to protect him for the time being, but Tsuru is going to catch that Panda out, and Hurricane Dance has been forced out. Bambi instead turns things around. Oh, he's still alive! Tsuru trying to force him all the way back, and Potato here, 1 versus 2, and will fall to the hands of I Am Jago.
Yeah, and RRQ are doing something really interesting here, because not only are they putting pressure, they're forcing out mistakes out of EVOSSG. They know that Oh Dear Bambi as well, for a fact that JPL can kind of hold their own, but Ace, on the other hand, he is struggling to hold the mid lane, especially when you're up against Kimi, who has more angles in the mid lane compared to the bottom side of the map.
Now, of course, I would say that Kimi here solely scaling in towards the late game here will be something that's going to be pretty much vital for the side of RRQ, because this Kimi is just going to get stronger and stronger as the game progresses. And heading in towards this minute right here, we're seeing so many of these objectives being leaning over the top side here, as RRQ has absolutely great control. But then again, look at Evos here, still desperate for a catch, still trying to look for that opportunity, but Liam has been the bane of every sort of team fight that they get into.
Yeah, I mean, Liam is basically just spotting out Evos Esports wherever they are, making sure that they don't have angles, and he's more importantly cutting off rotation paths for Evos Esports. Like, they have to take such a long detour to get to another lane. They can't just beeline it to the top side of the map or beeline it to the bottom side wherever they want to, because Boxia is just like, no, I'm not going to let you.
Yep, not going to be able to actually give any sort of room for them to even pull the trigger. But speaking of pulling the trigger here, great sort of shots happening coming out from Jago. And he hasn't really missed all too much of those maximum charge from the previous game all the way to now as well. Now, Evos Esports, knowing that the Lord is up, but they're not really going to be fully committing in towards getting themselves in towards danger. Jiao also trying to set up a little bit of that sort of a camp, as we see a golden staff have been purchased by the Badang.
That's a huge buy. That means he has a lot of damage in store. He just needs an opportunity to get to that backline. I think he should be able to one-shot carry here. Oh, Liam takes quite a bit of damage. Meteor Shower on the opposite side, trying to zone out the two main the two playmakers as well as the carry.
Wow. Now, I'm seeing a lot of all these turrets slowly falling off for the side of EVOSSG, and they don't really seem to be responding all too well, but they are sticking as a unit over the mid side here. And we see Ace being a really vital member to actually keep members of EVOSSG well alive in those team fights. Meteor Shower has been expended, trying to take down Liam. Not really going to be having all too much of the room to actually step further in towards the jungle, as Liam will be forcing them to back away as well.
Yeah, and what used to be Evos Esports having a good lead, RQ have actually caught back up and surpassed them in gold. And this is kind of surprising, because I would have expected by now EVOSSG would still be in the lead, even if it was by a little bit here.
Oh, I would say that it's definitely not too high of a surprise, because they managed to secure the turtles and taking even more objectives than Evos. So that means even more gold being funneled into his hands of RQ, but Ace knows what's up. The Lord has been taken down to 50%, and Evos, if they really want this Lord, they really gotta make a move. And now here comes the team fight as well, forcing it onto the turret. But Liam in the middle of it all, it won't be. Rex is going to open up. JPL opens up the Hurricane Dance, but will force them away. But Liam somehow is still alive. Danby forcing out the Meteor Shower as well. But none of these members of RQ can even be bothered about that as they take down yet another tower.
RQ is just so smart. Like, Liam is able to tank so much with the Revitalize. He's holding back 4 members from the enemy team. And now they're going to go for another rotation. Oh, they already popped the Meteor Shout. They get the first initial kill, finally getting rid of the Boxer. He doesn't have Revitalize to kind of power through the damage. But now the rest of Evos Esports, they've lost pretty much all their outer turrets at this point, or leaving top tier 2 still standing. But for the most part, the inhibitors are going to be the next objective, and more importantly, Lord is going to be highly contested.
And we see the carry was attempting on the Lord for a little bit in the sort of early game, and now it's going to be a little bit of that push and pull between Evos as well as RQ. Now they're taking it pretty low. Are they actually forcing this one out? The Lord knocking it up in the air. Zatur goes with the infinite of Chris Cack, and my goodness me, Evos are getting pummeled down, and Sin going for the chase as well. There's still all 5 members left in 10. Maximum charge over on Potato as well as JPL, almost heading out of the game. But now this is the best opportunity for RRQ to close things out.
Yep, Meteor Shower just gonna instantly pop down the Thambos, but he just wanted that inhibitor that he was willing to give his life for it. But that's not all. They forced out the Meteor Shower, so they can't protect mid either. They're losing their inhibitors 1 by 1.
I just love the macro game coming from RRQ. Look at how well they just control every single lane, and they knew what to do. They don't really care whether they have the Lord or not, but they know if they do force the fight, they will get the advantage that they are looking for. Of course, we're going to see a little bit of that sort of replay, of course, brought to you by Mobile.
Yeah, oh my gosh, just the Lord fight in general, it was looking so good until they realized that their priority target, Ayab Jungle, didn't get caught into that fist crack. He uses the chemical refinement, gets out of there, and just chunks out the rest of the team.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty much difficult for even Evos to actually come back into the game, only having 1 tower as well as the Lord already marching in. Bambi being forced to use the Meteor Shower to even take down the health, but RRQ, of course, still needs those minions to come right in. Now, JPL, though he is that tanky archetype, but he's still level 12. He couldn't possibly do all too much, especially when you have too many of these members in the front line with that flicker as well as Divine just pulling them back as well. That's the first kill, as well as a killing spree for Vin. But now look at the Jericho. Oh, that's a big blow. And instead of getting those kills, they want to secure the game. And game 2 will also be in the hands of RQ 2 in a row.
What a strong performance coming in from RRQ there. Like, honestly, what is there left to say? The early game was going pretty good for Evos. A couple of pickoffs here and there, and it was like, oh, that's great. This is looking good. They're coming back to form, and all of a sudden, RRQ play from behind, and that shows a lot of experience from the team on how to actually deal with Evos Esports, even when they are just slightly behind.
That's right, and I think some of these hiccups actually were sort of game, but Jago this time around will be the MVP for the matchup. He's also moving across the map. When he commits into that team fight, they've made sure that he is put into great effect, stalling. Let's have a look into some of the replays that we have. Early game, like you said, EVOSSG were having some great lead, but that lead did not snowball into something great.
Yeah, it didn't translate into something. They were looking, they're winning fights. Oh, they got a turtle, but they did take turrets, and that was kind of the issue here because they needed to kind of control the map. And I think what was really good about RRQ is that even though they were behind, they were still forcing invades, still forcing positions, playing the map as the 3 lanes that it should be, rather than focusing on 2 major lanes while leaving 1 behind. That way, when they go for these invades, they have a lot of priority over their lanes, a lot of ways to steal away farm, and just kind of someone will eventually get ahead.
Yeah, I would say that because of all these sort of moves that RQ pulled out against Evos, especially in that sort of team fight, this is definitely going to be that sort of a game-winning fight much later on in that lore pit. When Evos fully committed to this, they tried to take down members right behind, especially onto Turo, but they did not have enough damage to even get anywhere close, and that definitely bit them behind.
Yeah, and that's what's really scary about RRQ right now, is because no matter what they're doing, everybody has an intent or a purpose across the map. Nobody is really not being efficient with their time. You can see a lot of their movements. Oh, they're distracting top side. Okay, bot side's already being attacked with a minion wave trying to end the game. Oh, top side is being attacked with the initial invade, but they want to make sure that mid has priority.